Real Madrid began the season by taking home the UEFA Super Cup against Liverpool. But a week later, they would lose the Supercopa de España against Barcelona after Castorre missed the only penalty of the shootout. With mixed feelings amongst the Madridistas about the start of the season, Real Madrid would open their La Liga campaign against Girona at the Bernabeu. Lorenzo Castorre won a penalty right after kickoff. But Kylian Mbappe missed it. Real Madrid were very unproductive the rest of the match, and in the end, Girona managed to steal 2 points as Real Madrid had a very disappointing start to their league campaign. With a mini crisis rising, Real Madrid traveled to Mestalla next, in hope of taking home 3 points. The Chess were rocky at the back. And Lorenzo tried, and tried, and tried again. But nothing was working, until, in the final minute, an elite connection between him and Arda opened the space for him to set up Mbappe for a perfect tap-in, as Real Madrid got their first goal and win of the league season. After that, Lorenzo Castorre traveled back to Chile because it was time for the qualifiers of the World Cup in South America, and we were facing no other than Ecuador, the team that knocked us out of the Copa America. So the World Cup is coming in 2 years, and the World Cup qualifiers start quite early, but I think it's good that we do that because we need to get in shape, we need to get in position, and we need to do everything in our hands to qualify. It didn't take long for Lorenzo Castorre to score an absolute worldie, an amazing volley with his left foot, lifted it off the ground himself and put it in the top corner, an amazing volley. In the second half he pushed for another goal, but the keeper denied him, and in the rebound he was offside. But the intent was there, we wanted our revenge against Ecuador for knocking us out. And towards the end of the game, Chile saw themselves in a 2v1 with Lorenzo Castorre getting at the end of the pass, and his teammate gave him a goal to make it 2-0, his double, and he shines the foot of his teammate and gives it a kiss, a little kiss to say thank you for the pass, thank you for the goal, I'll take it, 2-0, 3 points, and the revenge sealed against Ecuador. With this result, it was enough for us to be in second place after one match day. Obviously it's like 18 games, so still a long way to go, but the World Cup route is on way. After beating Ecuador with Chile, Castorre returned to Europe to collect his second Best Player of Europe award. He already won it last year after an amazing campaign with Liverpool, and now his first season at Real Madrid awards him a second one. The group stages for the Champions League were also confirmed, were with Lille, Union and Liverpool, our former club, and in the opener we had to travel to Belgium to face Union. Not the toughest opponent, but of course we have to respect them because in the Champions League there are no favourites. Being awarded again as the best player of Europe, it only kind of highlights how close he is to the Ballon d'Or. People are talking about it, people think he has a chance, people think he can do it, and he believes in himself. Union almost took the lead, but Courtois saved us by coming outside of the box. It was an unconvincing first half display from the European champions who returned to their favourite competition, and in the second half, Mbappe found the space, Castorre holds onto the ball, and slots in the opener. Our first goal in this new Champions League campaign, and Castorre is the one to score it. Look at his beautiful dance moves and the way he liberated himself and held on to the opposition. He's a very physical player. Straight away after that, he was played through again, but his shot went wide. He almost made it 2-0 in 2 minutes. And towards the final minutes of the game, Union almost equalized at the very end. Thank God they didn't, and in the end it was enough. The only goal from Castorre was enough, and since Liverpool drew against Lille, we are top. Our La Liga start hadn't been the most convincing one so far, but after beating Union in the Champions League with Castorre scoring the only goal, it looked like we were picking ourselves up. Up next we had to face Villarreal, and Castorre had an amazing strike from outside the box, saved by the goalkeeper. And that was going to be a common pattern in this game, because later on Castorre was through again. He unlocks himself, and an amazing chance. I don't understand how the keeper saved this one, it really doesn't make any sense. That was a certain goal. But Castorre's luck wasn't on his side today. Later on, another amazing pass, and Castorre misheaders it. It goes wide. There's another huge opportunity, like 3 clear goal chances for him. It's very rare that he misses that many. Obviously he was frustrated, our La Liga start had been slow and we needed to pick up the points today. But later on, Courtois misjudged it, came out too early, and Jeremy Pino scored at the Bernabeu for Villarreal. This was a huge dagger to us because we were struggling, and just look at the reactions from the players. Tchouaméni looks devastated. He knows what a blow this is to our La Liga start. In the end, we weren't able to react and we lost our first game of the season in the Bernabeu as well. So clearly Real Madrid are in a crisis. 8th on the table. This is not looking good so far. We've only scored 1 goal and we only have 1 win in our first 3 La Liga matches. And it looked like the crisis was going to continue as well in the next game against Espanyol. Mbappe had an amazing opportunity, but it went over, and you could see the frustration in him. It just isn't happening for Real Madrid in La Liga so far. Castorre was through as well, but he was tackled perfectly by the oppositions, and in the end, again, another wasted opportunity. It looks like we were gonna drop points yet again and failed to score. At the very end of the match, Trent Alexander-Arnold puts an amazing ball over the defense. Castorre meets it just before it goes out, and he sets up Mbappe for a brilliant last-minute winner. An amazing play by the whole Real Madrid team, fantastic to watch, and Castorre in the heart of it. He ran across the field, the fastest player on the pitch, and he centered it for Mbappe to score the tap-in. A huge win to give us a breath of fresh air and to put the crisis away. Having finally picked up a La Liga win against Espanyol, Real Madrid returned to the Bernabeu to face Cádiz. Lorenzo Castorre hadn't scored at the Bernabeu so far this season and he was getting a bit frustrated, but here he opened the score by assisting Rodrigo, and this was finally the first good display by Real Madrid in La Liga this season and the first one in the entire season since we beat Liverpool in the Super Cup. Lorenzo was absolutely tearing it apart in the right wing, delivering another assist, this time to Vinicius, just feeding goals to his teammate. He's absolutely unstoppable. The football that Castorre is displaying on the right wing is incredible, but he still is missing a goal, you know. Assists are nice, but he's the main man, he wants the goals, and the keepers are just performing like prime Neuer. However, the defenders are a little bit sloppier. They pass the ball directly to Castorre, and with a brutal right foot strike, he puts it in the back of the net. His first goal at the Bernabeu this season, and the fans started chanting Balón de Oro. They believe he can win it, they believe he has been the best player in the world over the past year, and they want him to win the Ballon d'Or. He's got the full support of the Bernabeu, the full support of the Madridistas, but the question is, can he do it? Will he win it? Real Madrid pull out of their slump and their crisis is pretty much over, and now the question is, how far can we go this season?